showing off my cinematic filmmaking here. And also giving you a quick update. In case you're wondering, I literally have the point of interest of your eyes aimed right now. You're looking at it and going, what is he getting at? There's a spot right above, it's the gain knob on my Marshall amp. Ha! You're wondering, how am I doing that? This is what's called the rules of three. Has nothing to do with music, but I just thought I'd point it out. Your eyes are focused right here. The screen is split into three parts, by the way. Here's one. Here's another. Right there. So this line and this line intersect right there. That's where your eyes are focused. Right there or right there. Now also I can focus your eye there or there. So it's on that line. This is the bottom third. See? Fancy stuff. Looking also at my flying V. Ha! Okay, so getting right along with that and not really getting too much into my fancy cinematic skills. New phone, so therefore better camera. I wanted to get a, I don't know, one of those little action camera things, but I just didn't have the extra money because I needed to spend it on other things. So what I got is this is all the guitars up here. So some interesting ones in here. I've gotten a Ovation, a Damas, actually it's an Applause, an applesauce, so to speak. And of course, my guitars you already know. Newest acquisition here, Mitchell bass guitar. I got that at Guitar Center. It was $200. I'll give you more of an update on that later, but the Mitchell bass, I go in there and of course they have it plugged, they have the, you can test it out on a Trace Elliott, amp. And basically I was testing it through a $1,200 bass guitar amp, and that's what they had set up and ready to go so you could test it out. Was of course one of the nicest amps for the bass guitars in the store. And I was looking for, I wanted something that was a cross between a Gibson Grabber and a Rickenbacker bass. So I went and played that, and $200. And I took it to the register and I asked the guy behind it, can I have this to go? So moving right along, you'll notice now I have added, this is how much I liked the Roadrunner cases, is I bought this one originally, and I had this thing all nice and set up, and I liked it the way it was. The Marshall was all set up and up against the wall of the chimney part here, but I needed to get something to hold all the acoustics. Let me talk about my Jasmines just for a second, distracting myself once again. So this is the Jasmine that I first bought years ago, and as I had this philosophy working in a music store, was that the sales rep will bring the nicer one in to demo. And so I went on that theory, and you'll notice the two guitars are pretty much identical. Pretty much. The one on the left was the sales demo that the salesman was playing. So he came in, was trying to sell, the Takamine acoustics. Actually, it should be Takamine if you speak Japanese. But everyone pronounces it Takamine in America. So my joke was, and no one got it, was that this was not a Jasmine, but a Jasmine. So the one on the left was the sales demo. The one on the right is actually one that I inherited, and that is the identical Jasmine that you can buy. These are the exact same model. The sales demo had the preamp right there, right where I like it. And it's a 4-band graphic EQ. This is the one that you can buy with the 2-band graphic EQ, basically tone and gain. That's it. So the one that they brought to the store to demo and say, yeah, they're gonna be like this, has a 4-band gain, high, middle, and low. So here's the latest updates on my gear. I liked the Roadrunner case so much I bought that second one, and then I came in here and I put it up. I was like, ah! So this is the stuff you don't get to see because that, I've got the green screen up, and I did have room with all the guitars and etc. I did have room originally to put the Flying V inside the case, but I wanted it out because I don't like my Flying V with the points touching anything. I like it lifted, and that's why I bought this Fender guitar stand, and this one was the perfect one for the Flying Vs. The little custom amp I found, that also I inherited along with a lot of these acoustics. Everything in the left one is ones I've inherited. Everything in the right one is ones I have bought. You'll notice a microphone stand. I got a microphone stand that was at the sale, Musician's Friend. This thing was on sale. So the cord is basically an XLR adapter. So I bought this because, I'm recording through I don't have a PA system here. Everything I'm doing here is for recording. I'm not here to sing. Goodness, no. Not with my voice. Originally, I wanted to get Ronnie James Dio to sing, the lyrics on my albums. He said apparently Ronnie James Dio has passed away, so I don't have anyone to sing for my albums except me. So that's the bad news. I wanted a singer in the worst way, and I got one. I got me. So this stand I got at the Musician's Friend sale, and basically I just wanted to try. I've always liked tripod stands better. Oh, so you were seeing my camera tripod there at the very edge of the screen. All right, so I got the boom stand. This is the digital reference microphone. So, got the microphone, boom stand, and the XLR to the 1/4-inch adapter because everything I'm plugging into my guitar port, and then of course the guitar port goes into RiffWorks. Again, if you only have $50 to spend on music gear and you need something right now to improve your playing 100%, even 1,000%, RiffWorks. RiffWorks, I can't say it often enough. So this is all the stuff I got lately. I mentioned that I also needed to replace my guitar cord because my guitar cord has gotten pretty poopy over the years. So I got that. I got a new guitar cord, also from Musician's Friend. I dug out my Vox wah. That thing has seen some abuse. I am just cursed when it comes to wah pedals. I had a Crybaby years ago, and the other guitar player in my band stole it from me and took the feet off and threw them away. And so when I got it back, I had no feet for it, and I couldn't keep the back plate on, so I just ended up having to duct tape it on, and that was annoying. So of course, touring back in the early 2000s, 2006, somehow or another, the feet all got lost off my Vox wah. I had it bolted down to a pedal board, and I don't have the pedal board anymore. So now I've, once again, duct taping it. I really like the Vox a lot better than the Crybaby. I know a lot of people like the Crybaby. The Vox wah has way more throat, much better. I let someone else borrow it, and he agreed. So, speaking of borrowing, another thing I bought was one of the new Boss DD8s. Someone came in to do some work in my house, and I guess they saw my Digitech delay, which I'd used paint marker to mark all my settings on. And of course, they decided they were going to permanently borrow it. Any way you slice it, I had to spend $150, $159 buying that. Roland AC adapter. So this is all the stuff that I bought over the holidays, the big Musician's Friend sale. Musician's Friend sale starts right before Thanksgiving and goes all the way until New Year's. I really recommend you take advantage of it. And since Guitar Center apparently owns them, whatever happened to Venom in music? I always wonder. I just found out that Guitar Center has bought out Musician's Friend. Didn't know that. Again, remember I stopped playing guitar for 6, 7 years. Some of these guitars, of course, I bought at music stores, and one of these guitars I actually ordered from Musician's Friend. But that's the only one. I've only ordered one guitar from Musician's Friend. Almost all of this was bought from music stores. The Marshall MG series, I worked at a music store that did not sell Marshall. And it's funny, the owner of the store used to complain to Marshall and used to complain to Fender. He said he fully expected to be able to go into the local grocery store, buy a loaf of bread, a gallon of milk, and a Fender Strat before, and still wouldn't be allowed to carry them in his store. And I don't know what it is, but for some reason, Fender refused to let that store that I worked at sell Fender guitars. I don't know what it was, but that was his big gripe. And he actually had, I don't know, it was a very early 60s Fender Strat. Had so much abuse on it that there was actually a crack running down the body, and he had to be very gingerly with it because he was always afraid that the guitar would actually just split. But yeah, it had a big crack, and it was a 60s Strat. And he played that. That was his one guitar. He played the thing to death. So here's the updates on my gear, everything I bought from the sale. I'll show you the Vox wah. I'll demo that at some point. The digital delay, I plugged it in and tried it. As I said, I don't like batteries, unlike Eric Johnson. I always prefer power, and it's not because I can hear the difference between batteries, which I can't. Eric Johnson can, I can't. I prefer AC adapters. Just through all the years of being in rehearsal, forgetting to unplug a pedal, go to play, and my flanger or my phaser or whatever didn't work. It's just funny, when I was many years ago, back in the early 80s, everyone went out and bought, you were always buying foot pedals, and here it is, 2021, and we're right back to where we were 31 years ago, where guitar players are spending hundreds of dollars on buying foot pedals. And in the 80s, it was more plug into your amp, use the effects loop to, get yourself like a ART rack mount thing or a Digitech. I had a Digitech one that was not too bad. It was not too bad. The best one I heard was the Roland one, but that one was just very complicated, very expensive, and very hard to find. The Digitech ones I could find anywhere, and I bought that one for, I think it was like $170, something like that. And it had the stereo, which I wanted. I wanted to be able to do multi-tap echo. And multi-tap echo basically means my echoes would go to stage left, stage right, and bounce back and forth. And it was kind of like a 3D echo sound. And it was, that was my big thing. That was what I wanted back in the 80s. I guess we all had a George Lynch time where we were all trying to be George Lynch. Anyway, so here's what I bought. Here's the updates to my gear. And I'm going to sign off for now. We'll see you next time. Don't forget, tap like, subscribe, comment. Helps the algorithms to find us. And that way, maybe guitar manufacturers can find me and start giving me guitars to review. The only thing that costs you is I keep the guitar. And I'll give honest reviews of those guitars. We'll see you next time, and I'm going to go record we're going to record a video next on how to fix everybody's fretting hand problem, and then I'm going to show you another sequence series of warm-ups to do, and this of course is for the Journey to Shred playlist, and I'll be showing everyone some extra ways to synchronize your hands and get your hands, maybe not Michelangelo fast, but pretty close. All right, we'll see you next time.